Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Renovation and Outdoor Living Show. This is Friday, the 8th of May, and we're in episode 10 of the show. My name is Rawdon Christie, and I'll spend the next 20 minutes or so talking about all aspects of home renovation and landscaping. We've got a couple of experts joining us today, and of course, I'll ask them your questions as you post them. You can post them here in the live comments section. A few of you already said hello in the live comment section. Nice to see you, Terry. I hope you can win. Yes, we're going to be talking about our competition very shortly. Grant, hi, this would be amazing. I'm not sure whether you're talking about watching me or winning the prize today. I imagine it's probably the latter. Elsa B says hello. James, good afternoon, Rawdon. Good afternoon, James. Kia ora, Rawdon. Hey, nice to see you all. Thanks so much for joining us. Yes, so we just mentioned, hi, Ash. We just mentioned a few have tuned in, hoping to win our big prize today. This is our Mother's Day giveaway. So we are going to get to that very shortly. That's the mattress in the box from Ecosa, worth the best part of $1,000, depending on which one you choose. So, by the way, in the future, this is also where you can enter your prize draws. So hi, Grant, nice to see you watching. So do tune in if you want to win a few things. I also have a question from Tuesday, because even if you ask your questions after the show's gone off air, we can still throw them to the right people at the Refresh Renovations team or the Zones Landing team to find the answer. Either they'll have the answer, they can get one of their many sort of contacts in the industry to be able to answer your question. Lorraine Middleton asked on Tuesday, just after the end of the show, said, have you heard of doing lino/vinyl on bathroom walls? Well, the answer is very short, yes. We have, apparently, right? Yes, we've heard of lino and vinyl. Keep your eyes peeled. We're going to be bringing somebody up to discuss this topic in the future, but it sounds to me like a very good, low-cost and practical option. So there you go, lino and vinyl on bathroom walls. Yes, it does happen. Morgan and Stone, hi, nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So do remember to ask your questions throughout. Now, to today's theme, we're talking automation. How we are all creating connected homes. And well, rather than leaping straight inside, we want to start outside because we want to talk about automation in the garden. When you think about automation in the garden, one thing probably springs to mind. There's a bit of a clue, and that is irrigation. Now, Dave Pearce has been living and breathing irrigation for over 30 years. He's worked in sales, design, project management. He's also now New Zealand area manager for Rainbird Australia, and he joins us, I hope, from his home in beautiful Waimoku. Hi, Dave. Nice to see you. How are you going?
Hi, Rawdon. Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. Thank you. Looking forward to level 2. I need a haircut.
Nice product. Yeah, I know the hair's gone out. Nice product placement behind you, but actually, there is a good reason for you to have this, because we do need to talk about these systems. First of all, though, Dave, tell me about Rainbird. It's been around as a company. It's been around for a while.
Yes, their story started back in 1933 when the company owner, Clement Lefetre, or the company initiator, Clement Lefetre, was involved with bringing the first impact sprinkler to market. And that's a product that just completely revolutionized the irrigation industry, agricultural production, and is still sort of like a cornerstone of many irrigation ranges still today. So, yeah,
yes,
been around a long time.
Because Dave, when someone talks to me about irrigation and installing a system, I of course immediately am thinking about commercial, your crop growers, your orchardists, and that sort of thing. But what you're doing is you're selling systems. I mean, to people, you're sort of making people realize that when you're planning your outdoor landscaping area, think about this as well.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, irrigation is sort of like becoming, well, water use and efficiency of water use is becoming sort of like very key. And standing there with the hose is a very inefficient way to water, and it also uses a lot of time as well. So if you're doing a renovation, it just makes sense, even if you can't afford it or don't do it immediately, particularly if you're doing hardscaping like drives or pathways, that you make some forward plans or thoughts in terms of possibly putting an irrigation system in future. Yeah, certainly makes sense.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I mean, we'll get to the cost side of it soon, but I'm with you there. The idea of standing there with a hose and it's also going to be the right time of day is a complete pain in the butt. But I mean, traditionally, you'd just get yourself a piece of plastic tubing, drill a few holes in, and chuck it in the tap, wouldn't you? But we've gone a wee bit beyond that.
Yes, we have. I mean, that kind of functionality still exists. You can do it yourself, as it were, quite simply. But yeah, we've got sophisticated control available now. The irrigation industry has been quite a rapid or fast uptaker of new technologies. So here, I mean, we see on the screen here just it ranges from a simple tap timer. And that might be somebody's first step on the route to automation. So it saves them standing there with the hose at night when they come home from work, when in actual fact, the best time to water might be in the morning. And then the next product over there is a battery timer, which basically takes things up a little bit in terms of some functionality. But this one's got fitted with Bluetooth capability as well, so you can now program it from your mobile phone, from the smartphone. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's of course where everything's going, isn't it? That's interesting though. So this is a screenshot of your phone.
Yep.
So look at this. So this allows you to program how long and when.
Yeah, exactly. This will enable you to program exactly what you want to have happening, and you can set this up from literally anywhere in the world. You download an app onto your smartphone, and that enables you to run whether it's a battery timer through to some of these more sophisticated mains powered timers from anywhere. You set up the day, set up the start times, how long you need everything to run for. Now, the really smart thing about these as well is they feature predictive weather. So if you're away and it's going to rain, the system will automatically adjust itself, its operation based upon that predictive weather, again, so that it's operating as efficiently as possible. Plus, there's allowances in the wiring on these controllers, so that you can put in smart sensors as well. So if it's raining, or soil moisture sensors, we'll shut the controller off if conditions don't require more water to be applied.
Dave, that's really, I mean, that's taking it to, I love the idea that when you're sitting on the beach in Fiji and you start panicking about your rose bushes, that you can flick a switch and get some water on. That's incredible, but also working with local weather forecast as well. So this is the big question then. I mean, what's all going to cost you? I mean, from the very simple automated timer on your tap, which you showed us first down to installing a system for an average sized garden, let's say, because I mean there's a lot of money in the plants. So I want to know whether this is cost effective for me.
Sure thing. Well, you can start. I mean, literally a very simple battery, a tap timer may cost you sort of $30-40. And then as you move into a battery timer, which you can say run up to 4 or 5, 6 stations on it potentially, that may cost you a couple of $100. Some of these controllers here.
I just missed that, Dave. What do you reckon? What would the cost be for a really good system?
For a battery timer, might be a couple of $100. And again, when you start at these lower end, smaller station count mains powered controllers, you might be $250-300 for a product like that. And then you can add this little Wi-Fi module into any of those to give you the remote control functionality, and that typically might cost you, again, I guess probably about potentially another $100, something along those lines.
Okay, so we're talking in the hundreds rather than the many thousands. And given your water savings, and there's a question here actually from Ruth Dunlop saying, what is water usage like compared to using a hose? Do you have an idea of that? If you get yourself a pretty good system?
Compared to a hose, I don't know. It depends how long you're prepared to stand there. But basically, what you need to do is, if you're irrigating, say, a lawn area, or even a shrub or garden area, just remember, if you've got 1 square meter of ground and you want to put 1 millimeter of water on it, that takes a litre. And so if you've got, say, 100 square meters of lawn, typically, though, you're needing to put 3 to 4 millimeters of water on every day. So you're using 300 or 400 liters of water just to cover that 100 square meters. So again, if you're standing there at 30 liters a minute, maybe with your hose, that's 10 minutes of water. 10 minutes, you've got to stand there basically, which is very inefficient because you're not spreading it uniformly.
no, but and the reality is I'm on a beach in Fiji anyway, Dave. So that's the issue. Hey, Dave, thank you very much indeed for giving us some time there. That's really cool. Some great systems in there, and we've had a lot of people writing in comments about how smart it is, and the fact that we can be away while the garden's getting water, and the fact that it's water sensitive and weather sensitive. That is brilliant, and I can see this becoming sort of half of the course. Dave, thanks. We'll catch up with you again later.
Okay, thank you.
And I think we've only really just scratched the surface of the sort of products which Rainbird offers and other companies like that. Now, so the Ecosa mattress in a box competition winner. Now we had hundreds. Best part of 1,000 people entered this. So thank you all very much indeed for taking the time to do so. Really impressive, and so many of you gave us the comments as to why it would be important for you to win this as well. Kathleen's just put up, it's our 50th wedding anniversary, still wishing and hoping, unlucky at last. Please, heart, smiley face with another heart and a heart. I don't know how many emojis you put in there for luck to play its part. Look, we used a randomized system to pull one name out to win the Ecosa mattress in a box. And this person can choose whichever size of mattress they want, whether they want a single. I think it probably won't be a single because they told us that they wanted it for their wife for Mother's Day. And congratulations. We asked how many interchangeable layers does the Ecosa mattress have? The answer was 3. Yeah, I think it was 3. By the way, I'm not the one who went through the answers. It was 3. And as I say, hundreds and hundreds of you entered. With some really lovely comments about why you should be deserving of this. It came to luck in the end, and congratulations to our winner, Eddie. And that is Eddie, I think it's probably pronounced G's. I'm going to go with G's. If I'm wrong, I don't think you'll care because you've got a new mattress on its way. So Eddie wrote to us and said it was for his wife for Mother's Day. Good luck for you both. I hope you have a huge amount of enjoyment out of it. Yeah, cool. We'll see if we can dig out another mega prize like that for the next few weeks as well. Now, continuing our theme of automation, we're going to move from the garden inside now. And I think this is where the fun really starts because, there aren't that many things you'd want to automate, maybe apart from maybe lighting or irrigation on the outside. Although maybe some of those clever louvre blinds and that sort of thing, maybe. But inside, wow, I mean, the opportunities are endless. Now, we spoke to Lindsay McCarthy in our first week on air, actually. She's the National Builders Manager from Schneider Electric. And in our first week, she was polite enough to come on the show. She had a good enough Wi-Fi signal. And so we thought we'd invite her back again today to talk about automation in the home. Lindsay, very quick reminder, you've been with Schneider for 3 years. You work with the builders and developers. You used to work a lot with interior designers, architects, and you also manage your own electrical contracting business. So you know a thing or two about the products out there. Where do we start? Because smart living, automation, I mean, this is revolutionary, especially as 5G is on our doorstep. This is something which it's not just a luxury a few of us can now afford. This is something which is here with us, isn't it? It's everywhere.
That's right. I think what you've said there is exactly what people think. They think it's for the Jetsons, it's for the future, it's $1 million, it's $100,000 to start before you even get up and running. It's for big flash new houses. And it's absolutely not there. I mean, we do those systems as well. There's an example on here of all the things that it can do. So it is a something that you should start thinking about for every build or every renovation. So whether it's your lights or your blinds, but also your audio visual, your security, like your front door alarms and your door locks, lighting, energy efficiency, all sorts of things. So we do absolutely do those hardwired systems, which can do everything together or on Wi-Fi and do obviously cost a lot more. But we also do much more economical sort of everyday and entry-level type of systems that mean that you can start to get things going in your house.
You showed at the beginning there was of the in one living area, the number of different areas number of different parts of your life which you could automate down to your iPhone, and you could operate again from your beach in Fiji if you really wanted to switch the TV on to record the Jetsons. That's all through the smartphone, is it? Is that the standard way of operating all these systems now?
So we have a range of different levels. So yes, you can do that. The top end, all our systems have two operating schedules. So you can operate them through your smartphone or your device, but you can also still operate them through the switch on the wall. And hardwired system does have Wi-Fi capability, so you can be on the beach in Fiji, but we have another system which is based on Bluetooth, which is point-to-point operation within the home. So you can't operate it from anywhere else, but you can operate it on your device within your house and set programs up to happen when you're not there.
So that's clever, isn't it? So how do you install? I mean, so Bluetooth system, you're not having to rip jib away from the walls, or you're not having to plan for it while you're renovating to get the hard wiring through. This is a Bluetooth system. Is this it here?
That's right. So this is our PDL Iconic switchgear range. So this is our latest switchgear range. It's been out for about 3 years. And I'd love to talk to you about that at another time, but the Bluetooth component comes in as part of this range. If you have this switching installed in your house, it's literally a matter of taking out one of your standard switches and inserting a Bluetooth switch in its place. And that gives you the capability to add the level of automation and control to that. So things like automating your lighting, your dimmers. So this slide here, shows, so the top two switches are your standard switches. You literally just pop those out of the back, or your electrician does do it for you. The bottom one is the Bluetooth one, so you can just mix and match between them. And there's nothing else that needs to be changed. There's no hard wiring, there's no central hub. It's all point to point at the switch to your phone or your iPad or what have you.
So let's apply this now in my home. Okay, let's assume that there's one thing which I always use those timers for, and that is for security lights, so that lights will come on in the home during the night or morning if I'm not. So this system, let's say you could buy one of these smart switches, install it in your socket, in your light switch, whatever it's called. I can then set that switch on. Explain that and what it would cost me.
That's right. So first of all, it will operate still as a standard light switch on and off, just the same as if it had no Bluetooth capability at all. But you can see on this slide the although it's small, the screen that you can see on the cell phone there, that allows you to set a schedule. So you can set up to 16 different schedules. So for example, if you want to give your home a lived-in look while you're away, you could schedule the lights to turn on at 6 o'clock at night in one room, or 8 o'clock at night in another room, or something like that. You can schedule them to stay on for X period of time and then turn off. You can do something so it does that Monday to Friday, and then something slightly different in the weekend, for example. And so there's a lot of opportunities for you to apply that. So lighting is an obvious one, but also energy saving and cost effectiveness for things like heated towel rails. You can program them to come on for 3 hours in the morning and then another 3 hours in the evening, depending when your family's having showers. Or if you've got a rental property, you could program the bathroom timer, or in your kids' bathroom, to every time the switch is turned on, the bathroom timer the fan will stay on for like half an hour and then turn off after that.
What is the cost of your entry level systems? Like one system where I could.
Well, the beauty of this is that it's not a system as such. It's really scalable. So you can start off literally just doing one switch. And obviously it varies on what the project is and what it's controlling. But one of those switches is probably $180, $190. Then you need to have it installed. So you could have some really smart automation through your home, through your open plan living area for probably $1,000, $1,500, controlling all the lighting circuits, for example, in your living room and dining room and kitchen.
And that, of course, therefore, and then it can go up to. So now, let's say we go back to that original system where you've got maybe someone with an iPad, or the thing on the wall where you're automating your blinds, your music system, your aircon, your fires coming on, and just throw the whole thing in. What sort of money can you spend on this stuff?
Yep. and obviously that is bigger and it's more outlay. What we also do is, for those systems, you need to employ what they're called a technology architect or a systems integrator, and they will sit down with you as part of the design. And people do them for renovations as well. It's obviously on a bigger scale, and they talk to you about all the elements that you would like to automate within your home and all the different possibilities and which ones you want to link together to create things like scenes. So a scene could be you come home, you want to have your fireplace turn on, your lights dim down, some music come on, all at the touch of one button. So that's what we refer to as a scene. And you can do all sorts of different things like that. That's probably more in the thousands of dollars rather than the hundreds of dollars. And that can go up to being hundreds of thousands of dollars and the Jetsons in the future, but it's what you want to control with it.
Very quickly, because we're a bit short on time here, but very quickly, the most popular projects or products which you end up being asked to install?
So I would definitely say those ones that we touched on briefly before. So dimmer switches for lighting, and timers for heated towel rails, and time clocks for the bathroom fans.
Yeah, and then, my goodness me, if you think about the future, when we start working this out with the smart fridges and the smart washing machines and the rest of the house, it's just going to be crazy, isn't it? And it'll probably be our children will probably grow up with it as being perfectly normal.
It will be normal for them, and the voice control and all of those sorts of things.
Yeah, amazing, Lindsay. We've scratched the surface again, hardly, but we'll talk more about this because I'm fascinated with this stuff. That the world of the future, particularly as I mentioned at the beginning, 5G is here. And the speed that this allows us to do stuff at means that this is going to happen in every home eventually. It's going to be like insulating your house. It's just going to be there. Lindsay McCarthy from Schneider Electric, thank you very much indeed for giving us some time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Ron.
So, hey, the big congratulations, Eddie. There's a message here saying, please send us a private message with your contact details so we can arrange delivery of your mattress in a box. Now, if you've got any pressing renovation or landscaping questions for one of our experts, then please do either put them into the comments section, or we'll put up we'll put up a screen very shortly with the contact numbers and that sort of thing, and then we can get someone to you to help you with that. Now, we're in New Zealand. If you're not watching from New Zealand, you probably have heard that we're going to be living, I think, probably a relatively normal life again by this time next week. Level 2, apart from big crowds, and as long as you're not interested in international travel, then life is going to be very, very similar to normal in another week or two's time. We think. We'll find out next week. But mask wearing, this has created a bit of an unforeseen issue for some. The debate here is whether we should wear masks as part of our continued precautions to spreading COVID. But it has created an unforeseen issue. While we were talking about the smartphone and the smart aspects and that sort of thing, we're thinking about the fact that Facebook ID no longer works to unlock phones or unlock apps or pay for groceries and the like. And Apple have been inundated with complaints about how can you possibly operate Face ID when you've got a mask on. It just doesn't seem to like people with masks for some unknown reason. Fear not, though. Apple, being the geniuses they are, they're already onto it, and they're about to release an iPhone update that is going to make it easier to quickly type in your passcode in instances where your Face ID may not work, rather than having to go through the palaver which you do at the moment. You're going to be very quickly be able to speed up the process of unlocking your phone at times when it's difficult for the phone to recognize you. The update's also going to bring another important change as well. This is the genius of Apple. The first version of the tools that public health authorities worldwide will be needing to create COVID-19 exposure notifications for the iPhone is also going to be included in this update before the final edition launches. That's coming out in mid-May, so it's not too far away. It's all part of a coordinated effort with Google to create a contact tracing system that works through smartphones. Really clever, unless you're one of the 55% who don't have an Apple iPhone or don't have Face ID at all, which excludes quite a lot of us. Anyway, food for thought. Have a great weekend. Do look after your mums or your kids' mums on Sunday. Spoil them a little bit and enjoy your new mattress. You lucky thing to Eddie for his. Oh, he's just said thank you for the mattress. Good on you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye.